Thank you for joining me for the flower stitch tutorial. For this stitch you will need to chain a multiple of 18 chains, then add another 18 and another 2 for the turning chain. I'm starting with 38 chains. I have 18 plus 18 and plus 2. So let's start with row 1. So we will start by skipping the first 2 chains and work a double crochet into the third chain from the hook. Then work a double crochet in each of the chains until the end of the row. Okay, so I finished row 1 with DC in each of the chains. Now we will move to row 2. So turn and chain 2. The chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch in this pattern. Now we will start by working a double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So work a double crochet into the first double crochet stitch and in the next 6 double crochet. Okay, so I have 7 double crochet stitches. Now I will skip the next double crochet stitch and work a V double crochet stitch into the next double crochet. So work 1 double crochet, then chain 1 and another double crochet into the same stitch. So the V stitch is a double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet into the same stitch. Now we will skip the next double crochet stitch and work a double crochet in each of the next 15 stitches. So again, make sure to skip this stitch and work 15 double crochet stitches. Okay, so I finished the 15 double crochet stitches. So for this row you will repeat the V stitch. If you repeat this section you will need to skip the next stitch, then work a V stitch, skip the next double crochet and work 15 double crochet stitches. So this is your repeat section until you have only 11 stitches left in your row. Then you will skip the next double crochet stitch, work a V stitch the next stitch, then skip the next double crochet and work a double crochet into the next 8 stitches. Okay, so this is it for row 2. Okay, let's start row 3. Turn your work and chain 2. Again, the beginning chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. And now we will start by working 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches. So work 7 double crochet. Now we will start the repeat section. So we will start by skipping the next 2 double crochet stitches, which are the next double crochet and the first double crochet of the V-stitch, and then we will work the flower stitch. So we will start by working a puff stitch which is made by making 4 repetitions. So yarn over, insert your hook into the chain 1 space and pull up a loop. Now repeat 3 more times until you have 9 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull the yarn through only 8 loops. Now yarn over again and pull the yarn through the 2 remaining loops. Now make 1 chain and work a second puff into the same chain 1 space. Then chain 1 again and work a third puff into the same space. So this is the flower stitch. As you can see, we have 3 puff stitches and 2 chain 1s that are separating the puffs. Now we will skip the next 2 double crochet stitches, which are the second double crochet stitch of the V-stitch and the next double crochet. Then work 13 double crochet to finish the repeat section. So this is the repeat section. Work the flower stitch and a following of 13 double crochet stitches. Make sure to skip the 2 stitches before the flower and after the flower, and repeat this section until you have only 11 stitches left at the end of your row. So as you can see here, the V-stitch counted 3 stitches and I have only 11 stitches here, so I'm going to skip the next 2 double crochet and work a flower stitch into the chain 1 space. Then skip the next 2 double crochet stitches and work a double crochet into the next 6 double crochet stitches to finish the row. Okay, and this is it for row 3. We are starting now row 4, so chain 2 and work a double crochet into the next 6 double crochet stitches. Now that we've reached the flower stage, skip the next puff stitch and work 2 half double crochet stitches into the chain 1 space. So again, don't work into the first puff stitch. Work 2 half double crochet stitches into the chain 1 space. And the second one. Now skip the second puff stitch and work another 2 half double crochet stitches into the chain 1 space. Now don't skip the third puff stitch, work a double crochet, not half double crochet, work a double crochet into the third puff stitch. Okay, this is the beginning of row 4. Now we will start the repeat section. So work double crochet into the next 5 stitches. Now skip the next double crochet and work a V double crochet stitch into the next stitch. So work 1 double crochet, now chain 1 and work another double crochet into the same stitch. Now we will skip the next double crochet and work double crochet into the next 5 stitches. Okay, now that we've reached the next flower stitch, we will work the same as we did in the first one. So skip the first puff stitch and work 2 half double crochet stitches into the chain 1 space. Now skip the second puff and work another 2 half double crochet into the next space. Now don't skip the third puff and work a double crochet into the third puff of the flower. Okay, so this is the repeat section. You start with this double crochet after the first flower stitch and repeat this section until where you have only 7 stitches left in your row. Then work a double crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. Okay, so this is it for row 4. Turn your work and we will start row 5. So again, start by chaining 2. And we will start this row by working 16 double crochet stitches. So work double crochet into each of the next 16 stitches. So after you finished the 16 double crochet stitches, we will start the repeat section. So the repeat section starts with skipping the next double crochet stitches, the 2 double crochet stitches. Then we will work a flower stitch into the chain 1 space. So again, skip the next 2 double crochet stitches and work a flower stitch. Start by working a puff stitch. Again, work a 4 repetition puff stitch. Then chain 1 and work a second puff stitch. Chain 1 again and work the third puff stitch. Now skip the next 2 double crochet stitches and work a double crochet into the next 13 stitches. Okay, so this is the repeat section. You will start by working a flower stitch and then follow by 13 double crochet stitches. Don't forget to skip 2 stitches before the flower and after the flower. You will repeat this section until you have only 2 double crochet stitches left in your row, and then complete the row by working 1 double crochet into each of the stitches. Okay, and let's move on to row 6. Okay, so we're starting row 6 by chaining 2 and work a double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. Now we will start the repeat section. So we will skip the next double crochet and work a V-stitch into the next double crochet stitch. We will know that we are in the right place when the V-stitch is aligned to the middle path of the flower stitch, which below it. So make sure you are in the right place and work a V-stitch into the next double crochet stitch. Now we will skip the next double crochet and work a double crochet stitch into the next 5 double crochet stitches. Now skip the next puff stitch and work 2 half double crochet into the chain 1 space and repeat one more time. Skip the next puff and work 2 half double crochet into the space. Now don't skip the third puff and work a double crochet into the third puff. Okay, so now we are continuing by working 1 double crochet into the next 5 stitches. So this is the end of the repeat section. Make sure to skip the stitch before and after your V-stitch and work the repetition until you have only 11 stitches left in your row. Then skip the next double crochet and work a V-stitch into the next. Again, make sure that the V-stitch is aligned to the middle puff. Work 1 double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet. Then skip the next stitch and work a double crochet into the next 8 stitches. To repeat this pattern, continue working rows 3 to 6. Then if you want to finish your project, make sure to work row 3, and then I will show you how to work the last row of this pattern. So when you finish the repetitions, and make sure to finish with row number 3, then chain 2, work 1 double crochet into the next 6 double crochet stitches, then skip the next puff and work 2 half double crochet stitches into the chain 1 space, and repeat again. Skip the puff and work 2 half double crochet, and basically do as you did in the previous rows. So work 1 double crochet into the puff stitch into the third puff, then work a double crochet into each of the double crochet stitches until you reach the flower stitch. And again, when you reach a flower stitch, skip the first puff, work 2 half double crochet stitches into the next chain 1 space, then skip the second puff, work another 2 half double crochet stitches, and work a double crochet into the third puff stitch, and continue working a double crochet stitch in each of the next double crochet stitches. So this is it. Thank you for joining me. You can find the full instructions on my blog, Made by Guti, and more different stitch tutorials. Thank you.